Hey, how's it going, guys? This is SpiderCo64 back here once again with another book of Boba Fett episode review and a little recap as well. One thing. Oh, sorry. One thing straight out of the way is I already like this episode more than last week's. I know definitely for sure. And really, also to be quite frankly honest with you, but I'll be really, I'm gonna be honest right here. But while I do appreciate how much people had come on to that episode or to that video when we all had, and there was a genuine discussion in the comments. The one thing though that I really just want to get out of the way here and just sort of say is that I do not approve of comments of saying this and this is something that I don't really like, and that is just see, here's the deal: if you don't like Disney Star Wars, that's fine, but to completely just shit on it just because and all that sort of stuff, like, okay, just hating for the sake of hating, I just don't like that, and that's just something that I just don't really want, and all that sort of stuff. There were some comments that I didn't really like too much, but anyways, that's just something I just gotta get off my skin. It's just like comments that are just all like, oh, the last real Star Wars movie was Episode 6, and all this sort of stuff. Like, I don't, I just don't like. Those comments are really annoying to me, honestly. But anyways, with that being said in mind, let's talk about this episode. Okay, chapter 4, the Gathering Storm. So, basically to recap what happens in this episode, we are shown the last flashbacks of Boba's time before Mando season 2 and before the events of the Book of Boba Fett. And so basically we see in this episode we're tying in and we're basically shown how Boba found Fennec, in the Dune Sea, and all that sort of stuff. He was pretty near um, where the events of the Gunslinger episode took place in the first season of The Mandalorian, which, wow, by the way, it's almost been 3 years since that came out. I don't know, I just gotta say that. Like, holy shit, like, wow, three freaking years, or 3 years, right? Yeah, 3 years since that, since Mandalorian came out, Well, we're not there yet, but you get what I mean. And of course, that's that one final shot of Boba walking in the sand and basically finding Fennec's dead body and all that sort of stuff. The one big praise I give to this episode is they really do use a lot more Fennec Shan in this episode. She hasn't been used at all, really, throughout these first few episodes. And honestly, though, I'm honestly just kind of thinking, why is really Fennec here? I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I I'm interested in Fennec. Definitely she's more interesting, and of course, she's also played by Ming Na Wen, who I love. I love the actress. I love her performance. And all that sort of stuff. But I was always questioning, really. Wait, Fennec, what's really your point in the show? But basically in this episode, they finally kind of gave her something to do. And all that sort of stuff. Or she did some stuff. I'll just say that, and whatnot, sort of have you. And yeah, and just they're all tying in all the loose gaps and whatnot, sort of have you. And I really just feel like things are really starting to, pick off. And that's something that I really like. That I really really like. At the end where Boba is basically telling everyone, hey, let's all agree, and let's get the Pikes out of Tatooine and all that, sort of stuff. And yeah, some stuff is definitely gonna be picking up, and we only got like 3 episodes left, so this is gonna be really interesting. And damn, I really didn't want the episode to end. you know. And one of my few favorite scenes in the whole episode was when Fennec and Boba they're talking, outside of the Sarlacc pit. Which, by the way, I'll also mention, how Boba basically just gunned down all those Nick-2 bikers or speeder bike or bikers, and then how Fennec dropped a fucking seismic bomb into the mouth of the Sarlacc pit. That was cool. That was really freaking cool. That probably has to be her coolest moment so far. I say so, but what really to me was my biggest highlight of this episode was, basically when Boba and Fennec were talking at the fire. This is not when they're at Jabba's palace, but this is where, they're in the sand and they're talking about, bounty hunting, how Boba just wants to rid of bounty hunting and he wants to do something else on his own. And, of course, Fennec, she doesn't know any life outside of her, she doesn't know a life outside of bounty hunting, which would probably explain why she hasn't changed her clothes at all in like the past 20 odd years. I don't know. She probably gets some good dry cleaning, but the one thing I really liked was Fennec was a quote that was something that Fennec said to Boba, and this feels like is something that I want really people to understand is this, and that is, okay, it's this. I understand that Boba Fett. I would understand some people's criticisms as to Boba Fett. Oh, he's weak in this whole series. He's not kicking ass like he did in that one episode of The Mandalorian. And all that sort of stuff. But no, Boba basically just responds to Fennec. No, I became stronger when he was talking about the Tusken Raiders, and that's just like, damn. There you go. Boba said it himself. He's still Boba Fett. This is Boba Fett. I don't care what anyone else says. This is Boba Fett. This is Boba Fett, okay? And all that sort of stuff. I just really like that line. Basically, it's like, kind of like a meta sort of line, just basically Boba telling the audience, hey, I'm still that badass bounty hunter. Or, now, I'm a badass crime lord, you see. So, other than the scene where they're breaking into Jabba's palace, and there was that one cooking droid that was like General Grievous, and yeah. Now I guess to talk about the negative things here, and that is it's this. So all right, I have a little pet peeve about when Boba went to take Fennec to get her cybernetics that were implanted into her like basically like in her stomach. Okay. These modders or these cyberpunk characters, I just really don't like them at all. And the fucking music that was playing while that was in there, it was just, oh my god, like, and I had my AirPods on, and it was just, my god, like, I just had to take them off because, god damn, that music was horrible. And also, this probably maybe is a nitpick, but I'm just gonna get this out of the way right here. But I like how in Star Wars we go from people getting cybernetics, to be really dark and gritty, and they make it really dark, and hell, even reading in the expanded material, especially how Vader's operation went, after the fire on Mustafar, it's really gruesome. But here, it's just a little funky pop montage, and I don't know, it just seems like cybernetics is just like, oh, it's a hip thing and all that sort of stuff. I like to treat cybernetics in Star Wars like if it's just something really cool or something that's really just sort of like, it's a quote that I remember Vader sort of, I remember in a Vader, I think this is in the Vader novelization of, no, this is in the episode 3 novelization, and that is, or no, this is in a Vader comic where Vader described how, when he has the cybernetics on, his arms and his legs, he describes it, this is not walking, and when he, of course, his mechanical breathing, hell, this is not breathing and all that sort of stuff. I honestly like to feel like that cybernetics, in a way, while yes, it did provide a sense of kind of, you kind of feel whole again, but at the same time, you just don't see feeling human. human. You know, it's an odd feeling. You know, but here, I don't know. They just kind of treat it just like shit, like Disneyfied. And I like to use that word, but yeah. And also, how dumb enough are you enough to take the slave one, just go right into the Starlight Pit and not expect it to get by? I don't understand. I don't know. So that's all I have to say about this chapter of The Mandalorian. Also, Black Santa. Really cool. Really cool. So yeah. So thank you all so much for watching this video. And with that really being said, hope you all enjoyed this one. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. See you guys later.